Okay, let's do our McNuggets 5-piece. These stats are going to blow our minds. That's what I'm told.
It's 5 stats you guys need to know for Sunday when the Browns and 49ers square off here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. The first stat that you guys need to know is how crucial it is for the Browns to get off to a good start defensively. San Francisco has 31 opening drive points this year. That's the most in the NFL. They've scored 4 touchdowns in 5 games, kicked 1 field goal, including Brandon Ayuk, a receiving touchdown versus Pittsburgh, McCaffrey rushing touchdown versus the Rams. The Giants held them to a field goal after a 15-play, 94-yard drive. McCaffrey scored another rushing touchdown, and then George Kittle scored a touchdown against Dallas on the opening possession. That is more points than any other team in the league, and that comes against Cleveland, who has yet to allow a point on the opening drive this season. So that's the immovable force versus unstoppable object.
I love it.
Something's got to give. The Browns' defense has been phenomenal out the gates. The Niners' offense has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Browns need to keep them off the scoreboard early.
You're right with something's got to give because the Browns, as you say, haven't allowed a point. The most points you could score
35
is 35, and the Niners have 31.
And the field goal against the Giants was like an 18-yard field goal. They drove all the way down and
got stalled at the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, the most points you can score is 40.
Well, if you're going to go for 2, but you're not going to go for 2 to start the game.
No.
So you're right. And I thought about that, but I said, no, Bull won't call me on this because they're not going to go for 2 on the first score of the game.
31 is pretty amazing.
It's about as good as you can do.
That is amazing. Yeah. And they're,
That's the Browns' best chance at winning is turn them over, give them a short field, give the offense
if you win the toss, you're definitely deferring, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're putting your defense out there first, and you're hoping like hell if some miracle happens and you go 3 and out, the crowd will wake up. Because I do think the crowd's going to walk in kind of sleepwalking. Because let's face it, we think we're going to a funeral, not a wedding.
Right, yeah.
If you somehow get the ball early and you get good field position, that crowd will wake up and get on their feet.
I'm going to see what they're talking about this. I'm going to learn a lot about the Cleveland Browns in this game. Well, I'm going to learn a lot about Kevin Stefanski and how you can get guys prepared to play. And everything ain't going to be perfect all the time.
And he had 2 weeks.
And you got 2 weeks off of bye week. You know what's going on. And the defense, I want to see if you guys want to say that you're one of the best defenses the Browns have ever had, it's an opportunity to prove it against a great offense and a defense that you're going to have to match stop for stop.
I mean,
I'm going to see.
You could give me a month to prepare to play quarterback. It ain't going to make it. You give me 6 months. If I'm your quarterback and I'm about PJ Walker's size, it ain't going to matter.
Hey, well, here's the thing.
There's never an excuse to get boat raced in the NFL.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And I do think it's going to be, well, I shouldn't
Kenny
say that.
Pickett beat Deshaun Watson.
You see my headline?
I mean, it can happen.
Gardner Minshew beat
Lamar Jackson.
It's the NFL,
It can happen.
When
Weird things happen
When is it
every
going to
week.
be your game? When is it your turn?
It's a great question, G. That brings us to our second stat. We've talked all week about how prolific Brock Purdy and this San Francisco offense has been, and Purdy's been damn near perfect this season, except his one flaw is that he's short in terms of NFL quarterback terms. He is third in the NFL with 5 batted passes at the line of scrimmage this season. If you're going to get to Brock Purdy, you got to get there super quick. He gets the ball to his hands extremely fast, which we'll touch on in a little bit. So if you're not going to get there, put your hands up, try and bat down passes. He is susceptible to that. Cleveland ranks 28th in the league this season with only 3 batted passes this season. Hurst has 2, Harris has 1. But I have to imagine Jim Schwartz, because if I can find the numbers, the Browns have them. Schwartz is saying.
But McNuggets, if you're going into a game and you're saying our best shot here is to rely on something that we do 30th best in the NFL.
But beyond that.
It's only 4 games, though.
He's only had 1 pass batted down per game.
Yeah.
I mean that's Mikey, I love you. You normally do a great job.
That one's a stretch.
That one's a nothing burger.
I know you
trying to find something to grab on.
That's a nothing burger. Like, it's one a game.
He was looking for a flaw in Purdy's game.
You're going to take advantage of his 1 batted down pass per game?
Well,
it's 3rd in the league versus 3rd last in the league.
Yeah,
I had to
right.
find something here, Bull. I had to find something.
Hey, good effort.
Yeah.
I tried.
You're not going to hit a home run every time with these nuggets. Sometimes you bite into a nugget and there's a bone.
Bull said he had chicken nuggets the other day that sucked. Not every nugget is amazing.
Have you guys ever bit into a nugget and there's a chip of bone?
I would throw up.
Oh, listen, I was done.
By the way,
done.
I'm not going to say the name of the place, but you guys will know what I'm talking about. I actually went to that pizza place that I always complain about last night.
And I've always said, I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, and it was okay.
Okay.
I told you. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was funny because we had my son has become really good friends with this other kid named Jack, and the two of them are in class together. They're in acting class together.
wow.
They're in these plays together, so they become good buddies. So I took the two of them to the park, and they were playing around. And then the Jack's dad, Jeff, nice guy, he said to me, hey, you want to join us for dinner tonight? So we all, the two families went out,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And that's where they were going. So,
Got roped into that one.
And I know once he said where they were going, Bull was like, "Oh, okay."
But it was actually better than I expected.
Yeah, you've been hard on them, and I'm like, I
have.
don't get it. It's not terrible pizza. I actually like it.
It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Okay,
Domino's
good.
isn't so bad after all.
That's not Domino's.
I will try and redeem
ranch.
myself with
Yeah.
this third nugget.
Yeah.
The next stats are all from ESPN's analytics. The Browns' defensive line has the #1 run-stop win rate in the NFL at 39%. Essentially, that means they're getting off their blocks at a 40% clip. That's the best in the league. On the flip side, despite the fact San Francisco has rushed for 100-plus yards in 11 consecutive games, they have the 15th ranked run block win rate at 71%. That favors the Browns, and the Browns haven't actually given up a 100-yard rusher since Week 15 of last season. That's a span of 7 games in a row, if my math is correct. 6 games in a row, because my math was incorrect. Browns get off blocks
No,
as
it
well as
is
any team in
7.
the league. My math was right.
It's
Never-
actually 8 because there's 18 weeks in the season.
There's only 17 games, though, Bull.
There's
So you have
18
week
weeks.
6.
You said since week 15. The Browns didn't have a bye.
Oh, you're
after
right.
Week
No,
15.
you're right. Oh,
so it's 8. Thank
never
you.
doubt yourself. That's why you never doubt McNuggets, even McNuggets.
No, but you
That's
were
the
wrong.
way
You said 7, then you went to 6.
I
but
just
it was
we're
actually 8.
arguing about UC's
It was
math now.
4 last year and 4 this year,
That's
right.
which equals 8.
Which
Yes.
is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Essentially, no team gets off blocks better than the Browns. The
Yeah.
Niners average in their ability to sustain blocks in the run game. They're creative, so it's not a perfect number to track the effectiveness of their run game. But if any team could, in theory, get off blocks to stop what Shanahan does in this run game, it should be Jim Schwartz and the Browns.
I like that. I also, and I'm sure this is coming, so I'm not going to say it. There's one stat that gives me hope,
We're getting there.
and it's going to be in my sunshine and rainbows.
This is the hope, right, that you can do to McCaffrey what they did to Derrick Henry.
Right, exactly.
Now, McCaffrey's more of a factor in the passing game. Henry isn't.
Yeah,
but
and he may not have 100 rushing yards, but he'll have 100 total yards.
yeah. I mean, if they can keep him under 100 total yards, then they'll have a chance.
The recipe to winning
Yeah.
is that right
Yeah.
there.
And you know it's gonna be the recipe is how much people are saying what we're saying right now. The whole world is just being like, hey, just don't go out there and get slaughtered.
Yeah, right.
After a while, you start to be like, who the hell? These ain't the 40. This ain't Joe Montana's 49ers. I don't care about Brock
I don't
Purdy.
know.
This ain't Steve Young neither.
Not
Like,
yet, but there's.
You got to prove it. You got to show me.
Yeah, they do.
You got to show me, dog.
But
We-
when
do
you look
you-
at this roster, and
Now you can't. What you can't do is you can't give Christian McCaffrey 120, and Debo Samuel 96,
No.
and Brandon Ayuk 104, and George Kittle 3 touchdowns, and Brock Purdy 255. No, somebody got to go.
If all those guys have all those other numbers, he's going to have a lot more than 250.
Yeah.
yeah, well.
All right,
Okay.
next up, how about a little Myles Garrett madness? He has a pass rush win rate of 29% this season, despite getting double-teamed on 27% of his rushes. That's a career low, which means the other weapons on the defensive line have helped Myles get one-on-one pressures. He has the fastest recorded sack of any player in the NFL this season, according to Next Gen Stats. He got the quarterback down to the ground in 2.27 seconds, and he's averaging getting his pressures in 2.14 seconds, also fastest in the NFL. Why is that important? Well, Purdy throws the ball in 2.4 seconds, third fastest in the league. It is a battle of who can get to the spot quicker. Purdy, the 5th step of his drop. Myles to Brock Purdy. It's going to be tough, but if anyone can do it, it's Myles Garrett.
I like this stat.
It's a good stat.
I like this stat
Great
because if he's getting throwing the ball in 2.4 seconds, they can't be going downfield. This all short stuff. I got 3 corners that's going to play man-to-man coverage, and we get a couple holding penalties or whatever the case may be. We're going to play physical up front, and y'all going to have to throw short routes all over the field. You cannot be going deep at 2.4 seconds.
No, that's 15 yards.
Yeah.
A receiver can get 15 yards downfield in 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean we still have to bring them into the ground, and I
Yeah.
like our defensive backs and their ability to do that, but this is what that offense is, though. That's a quick
Myles
strike
Garrett
offense.
needs to play like a defensive player of the year.
He needs to play
That's
like
it.
T.J. Watt plays against the Browns.
No. This game is different. He can play like a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Like he
Yeah,
needs.
that's how he has to play this.
He
Yeah.
needs signature. Like, oh my goodness, he just scored 2 touchdowns.
And he's doing it against the Hall of Famer.
Yes,
He's going
he is.
against the Hall
Yeah.
of Famer.
That matchup.
Why
is
not
worth
put him on
price
the
of
other
admission.
side?
Oh, he'll be everywhere.
Yeah, he'll move.
He'll go where he wants to go.
Yeah, he'll be everywhere.
He'll go
Fair.
where he wants to
Yeah.
go.
Fair.
And the last one, and this is the one Jay was alluding to earlier. Overall, Jim Schwartz is 8-1 against Kyle Shanahan head-to-head matchups, but that takes into consideration when they were both like offensive and defensive assistants.
Sure.
Since they've been at least a coordinator or a head coach, Schwartz is 6-1 against Kyle Shanahan. He was 2-0 against Shanahan when he was the head coach in Detroit, and Shanahan was the OC in Washington. He was 3-0 as the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia and Tennessee, as Shanahan's been the head coach in San Francisco. And when he was the DC and Shanahan was the OC, he was 1-1 in one season. When Shanahan was in Houston, he was in Tennessee. Here's what you got to know, though. In those games, his team has forced 1.9 turnovers per game, just shy of 2 turnovers per game. They have only scored more than 21 points in those 7 matchups, once.
Wow.
21 points once in those 7
So
matchups.
what you're telling me is Jim Schwartz is Kyle Shanahan's kryptonite.
Kinda.
Huh. You're saying there's a
So you
chance.
say there's a chance.
7 matchups over 21 once, and they scored 25. So-
There's something to that. If it was 3 games, I would say, wait a minute.
What is the average amount of points that he has scored against Jim Schwartz?
I have the game.
the
Let me do a
most
little
was
mental
21.
math. Let me do a little mental math. Hold
Do
on.
some mental math.
Give me all of their numbers. I can do it.
Is it
I got to pull up the email. Hold on one second.
Okay.
is it better or worse that it's different teams that he's doing? Does that make it a better stat or a worse stat?
I think it's better.
That it's different teams, different units.
Are you
different
guys ready for the
personnel.
games?
I think it's more. How many are there?
This has 7 on them.
Okay.
In 2007, this is not in order
Don't
of
give
dates.
me the
but-
years. Just
Yeah,
tell me
just-
their number of points scored.
All right,
Rattle them off.
49ers 10. 49ers
Wait.
Don't even say the teams.
I
Just the
just
numbers.
want
Just the
a number.
numbers. Just
Yeah.
the
Give me
points.
7 numbers.
Yeah.
10,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
17,
Okay.
25,
Okay.
20,
Okay.
12,
Okay.
13.
Okay.
127 divided by 7.
It's roughly
18 points a game.
No, it's less than that.
You said 127 divided by 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was 117.
18.
Did you do it? Oh, you did
I
it.
just did
Okay,
it,
because
yeah,
I was going to say.
All
I
right.
was going to say. I think
if
it's
the
between
Niners
17
score
and 18.
18 points, they will probably win the game.
Well, I was going to ask you guys as part of my notes
Yeah.
today. I was like, "What's the number?" And my number was 14. Once they score their 15th point, to me the game's a wrap.
Yeah.
Because I do think our defense can sneak in a score, even though that has not been their makeup this year. I have faith that maybe Myles can strip sack and pick up and take one in. And I think that maybe our offense can run into a touchdown.
I think it's going to be hard for the
But-
Browns to score more than 10, 12 points in this
Yeah,
game.
I've got
I'd give him
14
up to
is the
7.
number.
I'd give him 17.
You do?
so?
Yeah,
Well, based on that, then we could, if we
Yeah.
hold them to or slightly below that average,
the more we talk about this, and now I feel bad about my headline.
You're like,
But I just think that we have too much dirt on the grave. I really do.
okay. But then just go back to our player draft.
No, I know. I go back to the fact that it's the NFL and weird things happen.
That's
every
the
year.
only argument.
No, I
But
said that.
That's the only argument.
But that's
Yeah,
real.
but it's true.
Yeah, I said that Wednesday. I said
Yeah.
how many times in the NFL were all the pundits saying in the whole week leading up to a game that this was going to happen, and then that happened.
I mean,
However,
look at
I would
last
bet that the majority of teams that are double-digit underdogs
Have lost.
lose those games.
Sure,
yeah,
they do.
vast
Maybe
majority.
don't always cover, but
no, vast majority.
Yeah.
But I mean, even last night's game, who would have ever given the Broncos a chance? And I understand they lost, but it was a 2-score game for most of the night. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like they got
Yeah.
blown off the field. They were still in the game.
They were.
And you look at that matchup and go, oh, the Chiefs are just
I
going to
mean,
roll them.
until they kicked that field goal late and made it a 2-score game, the Broncos were in it.
Yeah.
But then the Broncos scored in the fourth quarter just to,
Late.
They did,
Yeah.
but they made it 16-8 with like 7
Right.
minutes
But
to
did
go.
you ever
and then-
think the Broncos had a chance to win
Well,
the game?
no,
No, but it was
I
more
didn't.
competitive than I thought it
Yeah,
was
but I
gonna
thought
be.
there's a reason to stay up and watch the end now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where early
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well-
I thought going into that game, I'll watch the first half, it'll be 25 points and I'll turn out.
I could see the Browns losing the same way that the Broncos
and that's
lost
I guess
yesterday.
my point. I don't think the Browns are going to win, but I just think that we're making it sound like they're going to get their
Yeah.
arms and legs.
But
pulled off.
again-
but when you see my headline, I kind of.
But again, Jason, I mean, as much as Russell Wilson hasn't been great, he's still a lot better
No,
than
Russell
PJ
Wilson
Walker.
has
Yes.
been really good this year.
his numbers are fine. Yeah.
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 He went
He's
into
been
last
good from
night.
a fantasy
11
perspective.
touchdowns and 2 picks. Give me those numbers 4 games into a season.
A lot of that, how many of that was in garbage time? How many touchdowns did he throw against the Dolphins when they were down?
My only
speak
point was last night, going into that game, I would think the Broncos had no chance. And
Right.
they hung with them. It was a competitive game.
But look, if we're going to ding Russell for those numbers late in games, then we talked about Deshaun's season in Houston when they were 4-12, and he had those damn
Right,
numbers.
sure.
A lot of
That's
them come
true.
late.
That's
What's
true.
you have a read?
Really, really, really quick before we do sunshines and rainbows, it's a proud dad moment. Earl has a stat he wants to add to the 6-pack of McNuggets. This is a proud producer moment. Earl,
Nice.
would you like to share your stat that you did a little research on it? And
So
came
5
up?
Steve,
McNuggets
take
and a
tag
pearl.
board full, please.
He's learning so well.
He's calling shots.
So I tweeted out this morning, man, the number of the day is 36. Why? Because P.J. Walker will be the 36th different starting quarterback for the Browns since '99. He'll be the 3rd different starting quarterback this season and the 7th different quarterback to start a game under head coach Kevin Stefanski.
That's supposed to make people feel better?
Yeah, how's that
doesn't.
making us feel better?
It doesn't.
I just love the fact he's doing research now.
I do too. I listen. Those are all
great
great
stat.
numbers.
And
Great stat.
he's also stolen your disease of using SZN for season.